what had happened on day 28. We live here now. Where are you going to live now?
They write them, not the verdict forms. He's going to review each one and make sure they're filled out and signed. So that's what is happening right now. So I hope all of you got your text. I don't know why mine didn't come through. That's annoying.
You can see how hard he's flexing his jaw. You can
Judge
see
Nama's
how
reviewing
his
the verdict
jaw
forms.
muscle is pushed out there in one spot, and it's kind of tight in the end. It's because he's flexing.
Defendant will rise.
All right.
Madam Clerk, you may publish the verdict starting with the back, not with the, let's see.
And the clerk will read them in.
Starting with the back, flipping them over one by one.
Okay.
I'm sorry, buddy. Well, I hope you are too.
You guys, take a breath. We sent texts and Edith.
Docket number 2022 GS 15-00592, the State of South Carolina, County of Colleton, in the Court of General Sessions in the term of 2022, July, the State versus Richard Alexander Murdoch, defendant, indictment for murder, SC Code 16-3-0010, CDR Code 0116.
And read it.
Guilty verdict.
Guilty.
Signed by the forelady, 3/2/23.
Guilty.
Shaken.
He's going to be guilty on all four then.
Docket number 2022
Say what it is, so that's not the murder yet.
-00593.
That's the weapons.
The State of South Carolina, County of Colleton, in the Court of General Sessions, the July term of 2022.
It's sad too, though.
The State versus Richard Alexander Murdoch, defendant. Indictment for murder, SC Code 16-3-0010, CDR Code 0116. Verdict, guilty. Signed by the forelady. Date 3/2/23.
Guilty of murdering Maggie. Guilty of
Docket
murdering
number
Paul.
2022-GS15-00595.
The use
The
of a
State of
weapon.
South Carolina, County of Colleton, Court of General Sessions, July term 2022. The State versus Richard Alexander Murdoch, defendant. Indictment for possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime. SC Code -16-23-0490. CDR Code 0549. Verdict, guilty.
Sad.
Signed by the foreperson
He
of the
won't
jury.
retire nothing.
Date 3/2/23.
I'm talking about a son, honestly.
He's going to be guilty
Docket
on all
number
counts.
2022 GS-15-00594. The State of South Carolina, County of Colleton.
That's a hard
Court
day
of
for
General
this family.
Sessions, July term 2022. The State versus Richard Alexander Murdoch, defendant. Indictment for possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime.
You're trying, though, ain't
SC
you?
Code
I'm sorry, sir.
16-23-0490. CDR Code 0549. Verdict, guilty. Signed by the foreperson of the jury.
And there it is.
3/2/23.
Alec Murdaugh, guilty on all counts. And that is that. They will set a sentencing date.
Madam Forelady and
This will
members
be
of the jury,
appealed.
if that is the verdict of each and every juror,
Poll the
please
jury.
let it be known by raising your right hands.
That's polling the jury.
All right, thank you.
Make sure it's
Any
unanimous.
individual polling requested? Madam Clerk, you'll need to individually poll the
We talking to
jury
him?
according to their juror numbers.
They are asking the jury to be more formally polled by voice. You will hear the jurors say,
You want to hear it more? I wouldn't want to have to hear it over and over.
254. Is this your verdict?
Yes,
Is it still your verdict?
yes,
I would not
they do not sound shook.
want to hear
at
it
all.
over and over.
yes.
Is it still your verdict?
Very clear.
Juror 6, Juror 530.
I would not.
Was this your verdict?
Yes.
Is this your verdict?
Yes.
Juror 5.
He thought he had him.
Was this your verdict?
Yes.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes.
Juror 572. Was this your verdict?
Yes.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes.
Juror 578. Was this your verdict?
Yes.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes.
Juror 589. Was this your verdict? Is it still your verdict? Juror 630. Was this your verdict?
Yes.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes.
Juror 729. Was this your verdict?
Yes.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes.
Juror 826. Was this your verdict? Yes. Is it
They're
still your
polling
verdict?
all of the
Juror
jurors.
864. Was this your verdict?
Yes.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes.
Your Honor, the jury has been polled.
Thank you. The jury has been polled and the verdict is a unanimous verdict.
I didn't count that.
If
Good
you
job,
would
baby.
bring the alternate juror out and have her,
They're
5
going to
women,
send the
7
alternate.
men.
They're going to
What are they doing with the
set
alternate?
dates.
They were going to say she could
And here
leave.
we are.
Oh, dismiss her. Okay. Kenny, still smart. Like, I don't get it. How would you have no emotion? That shows how you had no
matter
emotion
what,
to
that is a
kill
hard
him.
day for Buster, a hard day for Alec,
What?
a hard day for their family, and I'm sure
You
a
call
lot
it
of
stand
sewing?
there or you can sit back there, whatever you prefer. Okay.
Crazy court verdict to read that like Trump's up.
Are there any post-trial
Yeah.
motions?
there's going to be a motion from the defense.
He's told his son it's okay, we'll appeal it. Watch.
Argue motions for a directed verdict, and at this, on the grounds, on those grounds, we would make a motion for a mistrial and to set aside the verdict.
No. That's not going to
Well, the
happen.
jury's
That's
still sitting
the-
there.
Don't insult them.
Your Honor, based on our previous arguments, I submit that the case properly.
Don't
reached the
insult
jury and
them.
The verdict is proper, and we rely on those arguments.
Oh, we got some law.
We've been here now 28 days. First few days of jury selection and
28
the
days is how long it
remainder
takes for rehab, baby. I'm
receiving
telling you.
testimony, a
I love you.
overwhelming amount of
He's going to
testimony
rehab. He's
and
going to
evidence
rehab.
that was presented to the jury for the jury's consideration. As I indicated to the jury during the jury charge, or the charge on the law, that this was a matter solely for the jury to determine.
And they have.
The court found at the end of the state's case that there was sufficient evidence to find the defendant guilty if the evidence was believed by the jury. Likewise, at the end of the defense's case, when the motion was renewed, the court found that the evidence was sufficient for the jury to find the defendant guilty. The jury has now considered the evidence for a significant period of time.
Let's see John Martin and them. Where are they
The
at?
evidence
They're not
of
there.
guilt is
Are they?
overwhelming, and I deny the motion.
Says he thought he's guilty too.
Yeah. He just said the evidence was
Mr. Murdoch, you
overwhelming.
now having been found guilty of 2 counts of murder involving your wife and your son, 2 counts of possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime.
They're going to revoke any
The
bail.
burden now comes upon the court to impose a sentence.
Oh,
Not today, I don't think.
Given the lateness of the hour
Wait, they were going to sentence him
and
today?
The judge is
the victim's
ready.
rights that must be
He said he thought it was sufficient.
taken into consideration and complied with under the Victim's Bill of Rights, and consider what I would
Where's his
anticipate
brothers?
to be
They're
a
not in the
number
court.
of people who might have something to say regarding sentencing. We will defer sentencing to a later date. Of course,
Yeah, I would
the
think so.
minimum sentence for murder is 30 years. The maximum sentence is life imprisonment. As to each count,
As to
and
each
the-
count, he
on the
could
weapons
get
charge,
60
the sentence is
plus,
up to 5 years
so 70 to life.
or
would be
5
the max.
years, which has to be concurrent if a life sentence is imposed.
So 70 years to life.
When would you all like to reconvene for sentencing? I would like to give everyone an adequate opportunity to prepare for it.
Stay will be ready at 9:30 in the morning, Your Honor.
Jesus Christ, Creighton. They want to sentence him tomorrow morning at 9:30.
It sounded like that judge was ready, so I see why they said that.
It's a far
We
cry.
can do it at 9:30 tomorrow morning also.
What?
Oh shit!
All right.
They're ready.
Defendant is remanded to
The
custody
defendants
of
acted like
the,
he's ready. He wanted to hear he was
Colleton
guilty by all them
County.
people.
They're going to file.
What?
They're going to put in motions for mistrial. They're
Yeah.
gonna
Okay.
put in motions.
Yeah. What did you just say,
Federal
Taylor?
cases, they sentence him 7
That's
years
what you never forget.
after.
He's a lawyer with
What did he
voters.
just say,
He
though?
knows
Oh.
what he's doing.
Okay, well, I guess we'll be
and
back
he may be taken away.
here tomorrow morning.
That's crazy.
Colleton County Sheriff's
What?
Department. I would like to give everyone an adequate opportunity to prepare for it.
Stay will be ready at 9:30 in the morning, Your Honor.
Jesus Christ, Creighton. They want to sentence him tomorrow morning at 9:30. It's a far
We can
cry.
do it at 9:30 tomorrow morning also.
What?
All right. The defendant is remanded to the custody of the Colleton County Sheriff's
What?
Department.
Okay. Federal cases, they sentence him 7 years after.
Are you going to cry after you've turned around to see your
well, I guess
son?
we'll be
Because
back
I would think by
tomorrow
now you might be
tomorrow morning at
emotional.
9:30.
If you could be emotional during the
jury is
trial
still sitting
when
in
you
the room
wanted to
as he is
be,
being
sitting and
handcuffed and escorted out of
shaking,
the
acting
courtroom.
out, that's why they found you guilty so quick. And now you're acting all like it don't matter.
The defendant waits until the jury exits and is not marched past.
I mean, I guess, do I commend you for being a strong man?
Shouldn't be on screen.
Your jury just was on screen, because now it's over, honey.
Sorry, I slipped away. I didn't know if they were coming back that way or not.
Madam Fair Lady and members of the jury, I want to thank you on behalf of the citizens of the state of South Carolina and your fellow citizens of Colleton County.
I'm
You
sorry,
did
this
not
sounds out of
volunteer.
I'm
Volunteer for this service. You were called upon by being summoned to appear, and Providence have brought you to this
Sorry, I
moment in
wanted to
time,
switch screens.
these weeks in time. I know that all of you have been here at great sacrifice, particularly the juror whose job was on the line until a miracle happened, I guess, that allowed him to be able to leave rather than to stay at rather than leave after 2 or 3 weeks. But I want to thank each one of you all individually and collectively. It's not often that you're called upon to sit in judgment of the actions of your fellow man, but you all responded and gave due consideration to the evidence. I will make no comment now as to
He
the
will in sentencing. He will make a lot of comments in
Extent.
sentencing.
or the overwhelming nature of the
We will hear
evidence,
his thoughts on this in sentencing tomorrow.
but certainly the verdict that you've reached is supported by the evidence, circumstantial evidence, direct evidence, all of the evidence pointing to only one conclusion. That's the conclusion that you all reached. So I applaud you all for it. As a group
Playing the game well.
and as a unit and individually,
I imagine that he gives this
Evaluating
speech
the
in
evidence,
every single case.
coming
The
to
evidence
proper
points to the verdict that you came to.
conclusion as you see, as
No,
you
I
saw the
imagine
law,
this judge
as you
gives
saw
this
the
speech
facts.
in every case, regardless of what direction the
Now that
verdict
you've
goes.
served for the next year, you're not eligible to serve again. Now, of course, many people never get called upon. But you're not eligible for the next year, and for 2 additional years, you can be exempted from service because no person is required to serve on jury duty in this court more often than once every 3 years. Tomorrow morning at 9:30, we will reconvene for sentencing. You all have no role in
Tomorrow,
that because
9:30?
that's totally up
You know what that
to
means?
the judge.
He's
judge.
guilty.
You're welcome to come back if you want to and be a part of the audience. If you
What?
I also want to thank
Or you can come on
welcome
EDB.
viewer who was locked
Is
away.
that the verdict, or is he saying
Guilty.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they said,
All of it?
he
Yeah,
said,
they
I want to give
deliberated 2
y'all
hours.
he said, I want to give you ample opportunity to prepare for like sentencing and defense. Prosecution said, we'll be ready at 9:30. And so then defense said they'd be ready at 9:30 too. So we'll know tomorrow what his sentencing is. And it's a minimum of 70 years because the murder charges are 30 to life and the weapon charges are 5 and up. So it's a minimum of 70 to life.
And
No.
he's already like in his
They're done.
50s, so
He didn't cry. He didn't cry. His son didn't cry. He didn't have an emotion other than
Watch
a
it
stoic
from
face. But when they would talk about things, and only, not really in prosecution, but if they did deeply, he would. When it was a right witness, like the doctor or something, he would sit
in his
there
defense, we're
and
talking
shake
about
and
him.
cry and turn red face and stuff. Yeah.
In his defense,
I would cry.
The
If
jury-
I was or wasn't guilty, I'd be fucking crying right then when I turn around and sing my
When
son.
the defense is talking, it's the audience is going to be looking at him because it's his attorney. So they're going to be like,
But as time passes,
We're going
So
to talk
that's
about
not why
it.
he
Sometimes
only
we
had a
just
reaction.
talk
Will
about it.
become
I got you.
invested and really committed to the case and committed to seeing it through.
Buster's still in there too.
And are
But
very
his brothers weren't
disappointed when
there.
are not
They weren't in
able
the
to
audience
see it to
I
a
see.
conclusion. And then along the way of serving, you end up finding out quite a bit about our judicial system and learning quite a bit, about human nature for sure, but also about the presentation of evidence and hearing from expert witnesses and really learning a lot of things that you'll be able to take with you when you leave jury duty.
I have to make sure
Madam
to keep
Floor
away
Lady,
from my face because he's
Yeah.
I don't know if you were hesitant initially or not, but you've stepped up to the plate and done a great
It's not a
job
bad stat.
of leading the jury as well. And thank all of you.
Yeah, I had one animal scar on my face.
So, the jury is
I feel like it's a rite of
dismissed.
passage for an
If,
animal
now,
scar on your
one thing
face.
before you go, of course, we have
Something. Everyone has it. I feel odd.
invested a lot in maintaining the privacy of the jury, of each one of you.
Is your eye the dog?
And you are free at this point to discuss the case with anyone. And given the high-profile nature of the case, I'm certain that
They will want to talk to you.
many people in the media will probably
I'm going to switch audio
want,
feeds.
but they have no means of contacting
But they
you
do not have
because under order that I issued, the identity of the
shouldn't you
jurors
switch
must
the
be
feed?
kept
So they can see my stuff.
private. And if
wants to see the
you
outside.
decide that you want to speak with anyone, local, state, nationally, or internationally, that's your prerogative. However, should anyone harass you, please let me know and I will address those issues. If anyone through the somehow or another discover your identity and harass you,
Talk to the jury.
and rest assured I will intercede on your behalf. That having been said, you are free to communicate with whomever you might want to concerning the case from now on. So with that, thank you, and you all are free to go.
He's saying y'all are allowed to talk as much as you
Yes.
want now because the case is over.
All right.
All right, the jury's.
And
We got y'all a
as is
gift
my
pack.
practice, I'll speak with the full person before you leave the building after talking.
Because we got you a gift pack. We're giving you a bonus.
It is my experience that when judges speak
Is
to
that
the
what they're
foreperson,
doing?
they normally ask if there was anything that could have made jury service easier, anything in the court that the court or the court staff could have done to make it more comfortable. And they ask the jurors how to make service less onerous on them and thank them again for their service.
Recess till
Till
9:30
tomorrow morning. Sentencing will be at 9 9:30 tomorrow morning. Much different than the federal system. We can see victim impact statements tomorrow if Maggie's sister or family members want to talk. We can see impact statements from Buster and the family members if they want to talk. This is a hard day all the way around. So
Buster's
many of
just
you in the
drinking his
chat are
water.
like, why do I feel sad? Because
Yeah, because it's a
even
sad
with
thing.
a
It still is a
conviction,
sad thing.
it doesn't bring back those that were lost.
Somebody being in jail for